To open the drawing toolbar, click on the View menu option in the standard menu bar. Select the toolbar option from the View drop-down menu that is displayed. From the list of toolbars that is displayed, choose the Drawing option. This will display the Drawing toolbar. Click on the Draw icon to display the Drawing pop-up menu, which can be used to manipulate the drawing objects. To select multiple objects, select the first object, hold the Shift key down, and then select the other objects. You can rotate an object by first clicking on the free rotate icon, and then rotate the object by dragging the mouse cursor. Click on the Auto Shapes icon on the drawing toolbar to display the Auto Shapes pop-up menu, which lists different auto shapes. The Auto Shapes pop-up menu contains the following options, from which you can select the category of auto shapes you require: lines, connectors, basic shapes, block arrows, flowchart, stars and banners, callouts, and action buttons. To draw lines, first select the line icon in the drawing toolbar. Then drag the mouse in the direction in which you want to draw the line. To draw a perfectly straight line, hold the Shift key down while dragging the mouse cursor. To draw an arrowhead line, first select the arrowhead icon. Then draw the line by dragging the mouse. To draw rectangles, first click on the rectangle icon. Then drag the mouse to draw a rectangle of any dimension that you require. To draw perfect squares, keep the Shift key depressed while dragging the mouse. Hence, both rectangles and squares can be drawn using this rectangle icon. To draw an oval shape, first click on the oval icon. Then drag the mouse to draw the oval shape. To draw a perfect circle, keep the Shift key depressed while dragging the mouse. The drawing toolbar also contains a text box icon. This icon allows you to insert a text box by dragging the mouse. You can select the word art icon from the toolbar to include a word art object. When you click on the word art icon, a variety of word art styles are displayed, any of which can be included in your presentation. To enhance the presentation and make it livelier, you can also include a ClipArt. A ClipArt can be included by clicking on the Insert ClipArt icon. Objects can also be filled with color, texture, or pictures. These different effects can be added to the object using the Fill Color icon. The following options are displayed when you click on the down arrow next to the Fill Color icon. No fill. Automatic fill. This option causes the object to be filled with the default color. More fill colors. A color palette is displayed from where you can select the color with which to fill the object. Fill effect. This option can be used to add different fill effects to the object. Click on the line color icon to format the line objects. This icon allows the users to format the color of the line and add pattern effects to the line objects. Clicking on the down arrow beside this icon will bring up a pop-up menu, using which you can add the required color and effects to the line object. To change the font color, click on the font color icon on the toolbar. You can click on the down arrow beside this icon to display many more colors, from which you can select the font color you require. A line style icon allows you to set the line style and thickness. Clicking on this icon will bring up a pop-up menu that displays a number of pre-formatted lines. You can select a line format of the required style and thickness. Similarly, a dashed line too can be included in the text. You have to click on the dashed line icon provided on the toolbar. This will bring up a list of pre-formatted dashed lines from which you can select the desired format. To include arrow-headed lines, Click on the arrow style icon to display a list of pre-formatted options. To give a shadow effect to the selected object, click on the shadow icon on the toolbar. This will display a number of pre-formatted options, any of which can be applied to the object. To give a 3D effect to the selected object, click on the 3D icon. This will display a list of the pre-formatted options that are available for 3D effects, from which you can select the desired option. Using the drawing tools provided on the drawing toolbar, you can create and manipulate different drawing objects. You can draw a line and format it. Click on the line icon on the drawing toolbar. The mouse pointer will change into a thin crosshair pointer when you move it over the slide. Click at the location from where the line is to begin and then hold the left mouse key down and drag the mouse in the direction in which the line is to be drawn. Release the mouse button to indicate the end point of the line. A line will now appear between the start and end points that you specified. The drawing tools can also be used to format lines. To format a line, select the line that you want to format. Double-click on the line to display the Format AutoShape dialog box. You can change the different options in this dialog box, such as line color, style, and thickness. Click on the OK button to apply the changes. You can also draw rectangles, ovals, and freeform shapes. There are icons available on the drawing toolbar for drawing these shapes. To draw a rectangle, click on the rectangle icon. The mouse pointer will turn into a crosshair pointer when you move it over the slide. Now click on the location where the object is to begin. Hold down the left mouse key and drag the mouse until the shape is of the desired size. Release the mouse button when you finish. While using the basic drawing tools, you can use the Shift key to restrict the shape of the image. For example, in order to draw a perfect square using the rectangle tool, hold down the Shift key while dragging the mouse. This will restrict the rectangle shape and only perfect squares will be created. Apart from the standard shapes, the user can also draw freeform shapes. The Scribble tool is used for this. To draw a freeform shape, click on the AutoShapes button on the drawing toolbar to display the AutoShapes pop-up menu. Then select the Lines option, which will display options for different types of lines. From here, you have to select the Scribble icon. The mouse pointer will now turn into a pen when you move it over the slide. Click the mouse pointer at the location from where you want to begin drawing. Hold the left mouse key down and drag the pointer to create the shape you want. When you have finished, release the mouse button. AutoShapes, as the name suggests, are predefined shapes that are available through the drawing toolbar. You can select from a variety of shapes and add them to your slide. There is a wide range of shapes available, which extend from straight lines to complex 3D images. Once these shapes are added to your slide, they can be easily manipulated and formatted. To add an auto shape, click on the AutoShapes button on the drawing toolbar. From the AutoShapes menu, select the auto shape that you want to add to your slide. Position the mouse pointer at the location on the slide where you want to insert the auto shape. Hold down the left button of the mouse and drag it in the required direction. When the auto shape is of the required size and proportion, release the mouse button. You can adjust the shape further by selecting the shape and dragging the adjustment handle. The different auto shape menus are shown here. Now let us have a look at the options provided in each auto shape menu. Here are the options in the Lines menu. This is the Connectors menu. Here we have the Basic Shapes menu. This is the Block Arrows menu. Here are the options of the Flowchart menu. The Stars and Banners menu has the options shown here. This is the Call Outs menu. In the Action buttons, the following shapes are included. If you select more Auto Shapes option, you will be presented with a large set of categories from which you can make a choice. ClipArts can be included in a presentation to make it more attractive and appealing to users. There are a number of ClipArts present in most computers, which can easily be inserted in any presentation. Additional ClipArts can also be obtained from the internet or from the MS Office installation CD. In order to insert a ClipArt into your project, just click on the Insert ClipArt icon on the drawing toolbar. The Insert ClipArt dialog box with a gallery of ClipArts will be displayed. You can view the different categories available by using the scroll bar. Make sure that the Picture tab is selected and then select the category or group that matches your requirement, for example, Nature or Academic. When you click on a category or group, all the ClipArts available in that category will be displayed. To insert a ClipArt, click once on it to display a pop-up menu. Then select the Insert Clip option, which is the first item in the pop-up menu. The selected ClipArt will be pasted in the presentation. The Insert ClipArt dialog box will remain open, and you can insert more ClipArts into your presentation. When you have finished, close the Insert ClipArt dialog box. You can also search for ClipArt pictures. In the Search for Clips section of the Insert ClipArt dialog box, enter a word or phrase that best describes the type of ClipArt that you are looking for and press the Enter key. ClipArts that match the word or phrase you entered will be displayed, and you can select and paste any of these into your presentation. Apart from the static ClipArts which you just saw, you can also insert sound and motion clips into your presentation using the Insert ClipArt dialog box. To insert a sound or motion clip, you have to first select the appropriate tab, that is, Sounds or Motion Clips, from the Insert ClipArt dialog box. You can then select the sound or motion clip that you want to add to your presentation, provided that they have been loaded into your computer. You will often want to select one or more objects on a slide. We will now see how to select single or multiple objects and also how to deselect them as and when required. To select a single object, first position the mouse cursor over the visible area of the object. Then click on the object. To deselect a selected object, click once again on the object. Sometimes you might want to select more than one object at a time. First, select one of the objects. Then, hold down the Shift key and click on one of the other objects that you want to select. The first object will remain selected. You can continue selecting the other objects, keeping the Shift key pressed all the time. After selecting many objects, you may sometimes wish to deselect one of the objects. You can do this by clicking on the object while keeping the Shift key pressed. None of the other objects will be affected. Objects can also be selected using the Select Objects icon on the drawing toolbar. First, click on the Select Objects icon on the drawing toolbar. Then hold the left mouse key down and drag the mouse so that a box is drawn around the objects that are to be selected. When you release the mouse button, the objects will be selected. Here you should ensure that the box completely surrounds the objects. Sometimes an object might be partially surrounded. Objects that are partially surrounded will not be selected. Sometimes you might want to select all the objects on a slide. To do this, first click on the Edit menu. Then choose the Select All option from the drop-down menu list. This will select all the items present in the slide. Alternatively, to select all the objects using the keyboard, press Ctrl+A. To cycle through the objects on a slide, first select one of the objects. When you press the Tab key, the next object on the slide will be selected. You can access all the objects on the slide one after the other by pressing the Tab key repeatedly. Also, using the Shift plus Tab key combination, you can cycle through the objects in the reverse direction. Sometimes you will have a set of objects on a slide that belong together and can be treated as a single object. In such cases, it becomes more convenient to group these objects together. Now, any changes that you apply to this group will affect all the objects in the group. Thus, many objects can be treated as a single object by grouping them. Let us now see how objects can be grouped. First, select all the objects in the group by clicking on each one of them while holding down the Shift key. Or, the objects can also be selected by dragging the mouse pointer around the objects so that a selection rectangle is drawn which covers all the objects that are to be grouped. After selecting the objects, click on the Draw icon on the Drawing toolbar. From the pop-up menu which appears, select the Group option. The selected items are now grouped together. The handles around each individual object disappear and are replaced by a single set of handles around the entire group. Now, when you click on any of the objects, the entire group is selected. Sometimes, after grouping the objects, you may find it necessary to work with an individual object. That is, you will want to ungroup the objects in a group. To ungroup a grouped object, select the group by clicking on one of the objects and then click on the Draw icon on the Drawing toolbar. Then select the Ungroup command from the menu that is displayed. Now the handles around the group will disappear and the handles of the individual objects will be restored. The objects are now ungrouped and each object can be accessed individually. Another method of ungrouping objects is to first select the group of objects and then right-click on the selection to display a shortcut menu. From the pop-up menu, first select the Group option followed by the Ungroup option. The handles around the group will disappear and the handles for each object will be restored. After ungrouping the group and making the necessary changes, you can regroup the objects once again. To regroup the most recently ungrouped set of objects, first select one of the objects from the group. Then click on the Draw icon on the Drawing toolbar. Select the Regroup command from the menu that is displayed. Sometimes you may want to alter the size of the objects after they have been created. Objects can be resized to a particular size as well as in a particular direction, that is, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. To resize an object, you have to first select the object by clicking on it. Then click on one of the resize handles around the object so that the mouse pointer changes to a crosshair pointer. Now, drag the resize handle until the object is of the required size and release the mouse button. Objects can also be resized to a percentage of their current size. First, select the object and then right-click on the object to display a shortcut menu. From the shortcut menu, select the Format Picture option, which is listed in the menu when you select a ClipArt. When you select an object, the Format Object option will be displayed instead. When you select the Format Picture option, the Format Picture dialog box will appear. Click on the Size tab of this dialog box. Modify the values specified in the height and width spin boxes in the Scale section of this dialog box. Then, click on the OK button to close the dialog box. The height and width of the picture will now be resized according to the values you specified in the dialog box. Some constraints can be applied while resizing objects. To resize an object vertically, diagonally or horizontally from one corner, select the object first, then hold down the Shift key, click on one of the corner handles and drag it until the required size is attained. To resize an object from the center outwards in both directions, first select the object. Then, while holding down the Control key, click and drag one of the corner handles. To resize an object from the center outwards, select the object, hold down the Control plus Shift keys, click on one of the corner handles of the object and drag it until the required size is attained. The lines in a presentation can also be resized. To resize a line, first select it. Resize handles will be displayed at each end of the line. Drag one of the resize handles to increase or decrease the length of the line. An image of the line is displayed as you drag to enable you to see the effect of resizing it. The other end of the line remains anchored. Also, always keep the Shift key pressed while resizing a line, if the line has to be kept at the same angle. We will now see how to align objects. The alignment of objects on a slide can be changed. They can be aligned along the left, right, top and the bottom sides of the slide or with respect to each other. To align objects using the Draw menu, select the object that is to be aligned. Click on the Draw icon on the Drawing toolbar to display the Draw menu. From the Draw menu, select the Align or Distribute option to display the Alignment submenu. To align objects using the Draw menu, select the objects that are to be aligned. The selected objects will get aligned as per the selection made. The objects can also be aligned using the vertical and horizontal guides. To align objects using the guides, click on the View option from the menu bar to display a drop-down menu. Select the Guides option from the View menu. Or, click the right mouse button to display the Shortcut menu. And select the Guides option from this menu. You will now see one vertical and one horizontal dotted line, which cross each other at the center point of the slide. You can click on the vertical and horizontal dotted lines and drag them across the slide. A guide indicator will be displayed with a number indicating in inches how far you have moved the guide from the center of the slide. If the guide indicator jumps numbers as you drag the guide, from the Draw menu, select Snap followed by to Grid to switch off the Snap to Grid feature. Objects can also be moved on the slide. First, select the object by clicking on it. Then, hold the left mouse button down and drag the object in the direction in which you want to move it. As the object is dragged, its outline will appear dotted. After moving the object to the new location, release the mouse button. The dotted outline will now change back to its original form. Sometimes you may have two or more objects overlapping one another, in which case the objects will appear one on top of the other. The first object that you draw will appear behind the other objects that are added later on, while the last object that you draw will appear right on top. You can change the order in which the objects appear. The options available for ordering the objects are Bring to front, Send to back, Bring forward, and Send backward. This type of ordering is possible only in the case of overlapping objects. To bring an object forward or to send it backwards, select the object that you wish to move forward or backward. Right-click on the object to display a pop-up menu. Select the Order option from this menu to display the Order submenu. The Order submenu has 4 options for ordering the objects. If you select the Bring to front or Send to back options, the selected object will be moved in front of all the other objects or moved behind all the other objects, as the case may be. The objects on a slide can also be rotated to any desired degree. The objects can be rotated as individual objects. They can also be rotated as part of a group or also as part of a multiple selection. An object can be rotated using the Drawing toolbar or the Draw menu option on the Drawing toolbar. To rotate an object using the Drawing toolbar, select the object or group to be rotated by clicking on it. Then click on the Free Rotate tool on the Drawing toolbar. The mouse pointer will now change to the Free Rotate pointer. Place the Free Rotate pointer over one of the resizing handles. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the pointer to rotate the object to the desired angle. Objects can also be rotated using the Draw menu on the Drawing toolbar. First, select the object or the group of objects you want to rotate. Then, click on the Draw option in the Drawing toolbar to display the Draw menu. Select the Rotate or Flip option from this menu to display a sub-menu. The sub-menu has options for Free Rotate, Rotate Left, and Rotate Right. It also has two more options, Flip Horizontal and Flip Vertical, which can be used to turn the object horizontally or vertically, as the case may be. You can select any one of these options and the object will be rotated accordingly. PowerPoint allows you to cut, copy and paste the objects on the slide using the cut, copy and paste icons provided on the standard toolbar. The same operation can also be executed using the options available in the Edit drop-down menu. Objects can be cut and copied from one slide to the other, or even from one presentation to another. Whenever the cut and copy options are used, a copy of the object is placed on the clipboard, from where it can be pasted to some other location. The duplicate command is slightly different from the cut and copy command. When an object is duplicated, a copy of the object is not placed on the clipboard. When an object is duplicated, a copy of the object is placed directly on the slide itself, slightly offset from the original object. Let us see how to copy and paste an object. First, select the object that is to be copied. Click on the Edit option in the standard menu bar to display the Edit drop-down menu. Select the Copy option from the Edit menu. This will place a copy of the object on the clipboard. The original object will remain intact. Now, select the Paste option from the Edit drop-down menu. A copy of the object will now be placed on the slide. You can use the copy and paste icons on the standard toolbar to quickly copy and paste objects. Let us now see how to cut and paste an object. Objects can also be cut or deleted from one location and pasted at a different location. First, select the object to be cut. Then, click on the Edit menu in the standard menu bar to display the Edit drop-down menu. Select the Cut option from the Edit menu to delete the object from the slide and place it on the clipboard. The object can now be pasted from the clipboard onto the same slide or on a different slide. From the Edit drop-down menu, select the Paste option. The object will now be placed on the slide. Objects can be quickly cut from one location and pasted to another location using the cut and paste icons on the standard toolbar. Let us now see how an object can be duplicated. Duplicating an object is not the same as copying or cutting the object from its previous location. To duplicate an object, first select the object. Then, click on the Edit option in the standard menu bar to display the Edit drop-down menu. Select the Duplicate option from this menu. The duplicate copy of the object is displayed on top of the original object at a slight offset. Select and drag this duplicate object to the desired position. You can also duplicate an object by dragging it. First, select the object. Then, press the Ctrl key. A plus sign will be displayed next to the pointer. Now, hold down the left mouse button and drag the pointer. a copy of the object will move with the pointer and can be positioned at the desired location. Colors can also be added to the slide using the various color schemes. To apply a color scheme to the slides, click on the Format option in the Standard menu bar to display the Format drop-down menu. Select the Slide Color Scheme option from the Format menu to display the Color Scheme dialog box. Click on the Standard tab to display the 7 standard color schemes. Select any one of the color schemes. Before applying the selected scheme to your slide, you can view the effect it will have on your slide by clicking on the Preview button in the dialog box. You can apply this color scheme to all the slides in the presentation by clicking on the Apply to All button. Or else, you can apply the color scheme to only the current slide by clicking on the Apply button. Notice that the Color Scheme dialog box also contains a tip box for new users. Here it advises us to use a light background when creating overheads and a dark background for on-screen presentations and 35mm slides. Having large areas of color can prove to be very expensive if you are using color printers. Instead of using the standard color schemes, you can also define your own custom colors. Click on the Format option in the Standard menu bar and select the Slide Color Scheme option from the Format menu. Now, in the Color Scheme dialog box which appears, select the Custom tab to open the Custom Scheme dialog box. You can now define your choice of colors and add the changes to the current slide or to all the slides in the presentation by clicking on the Change Color button. The different options available for creating color schemes are as follows. Background color. This color represents the color of the canvas you are going to work on. Text and lines color. Text and lines color is used for text and lines drawn on the slide. Shadow color. This color is applied when you add a shadow to an object, and it is usually a darker shade of the background color. Title text color is used to specify the font color of the title. Fill color is used with graphs or fill objects. Accent and hyperlink colors, used as colors for secondary features on the slide. After making the necessary changes, click on the Add as Standard Scheme button. You can make your presentations more appealing by adding a custom background to the presentations. You can choose from a variety of background options that range from solid colors to gradients, textures, and even pictures. You can always modify the background at any point of time. To add a background to the presentation, click on the Format option in the Standard menu bar to display the Format drop-down menu. Select the Background option from the Format menu. The Background dialog box will be displayed. In the Background dialog box, click on the down arrow in the drop-down list box at the bottom of the Background fill box. From the drop-down menu that appears, select the Fill Effects option. The Fill Effects dialog box will be displayed. Select the Gradient tab in this dialog box. The Colors section of the dialog box gives you the option of selecting a single color, two colors, or one of the preset colors for the background. A sample of the fill effect is shown at the bottom right corner of the Fill Effects dialog box. In the Shading Styles section of the dialog box, you can select the orientation of the fill effect. The Variants section of this dialog box gives you a choice of variants for the particular fill effect you have chosen. After selecting all the required parameters, you have to click on the OK button. This will take you back to the Background dialog box. You can now apply the settings to the current slide by clicking on the Apply button. You can change the background color of all the slides in the presentation by clicking on the Apply to All button. The background effects that you specified will appear in the slide view. If you want to format a slide with the same settings, which you have already specified for another slide, you do not have to enter the same formatting information twice. You can use the Format Painter icon from the standard toolbar to copy the format settings of one object to another object. Thus, the simplest way to apply an existing color scheme to another slide or presentation is to use the Format Painter tool. To copy formatting information from one item to another, select the text or object from which the formatting is to be copied. Then click on the Format Painter icon on the standard toolbar. If the color scheme is to be copied to more than one slide, you will have to double-click on the Format Painter icon. The formatting information is now picked up from the selected object, and the mouse pointer changes to an arrow with a paintbrush attached. Select the object to which the formatting information is to be applied by clicking on it. After you have finished formatting, you should press the Escape key to cancel the Format Painter.